Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here in Liverpool for Fight Week, where Natasha Jonas, Liverpool's very own, will defend her IBF World Welterweight Championship of the World against Michaela. It's our first interview of 2024, and with an extravagant look, I'm delighted to be joined by my man, Big Mo. Mo, Happy New Year. I know it's a few weeks late, but Happy New Year. It's the first time I'm speaking to you in 2024. How are you doing and how are you finding Liverpool?
First off, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all the Lights Out subscribers and followers. I'm good. I'm excited to be back to work, excited to be back in Liverpool. This is my second time here. First Liverpool show I did was for Liam Smith's first fight on Boxer, which was my second show ever for Boxer and Sky. So I'm happy to be back, and it's a little chilly. I mean, it's not as cold as it is for where I'm in Denver, but it's just good to be back over here in Merseyside.
Well, it's good to see you, and like I said, I'm really feeling the new moustache,
Oh, yeah?
me, myself and Irene type of vibe you've got going on up there, and I'm pretty sure it helps the upper lip to keep warm, especially with the weather we've got here. But let's obviously start off by talking about this show we've got here. Liverpool's very own Natasha Jonas defending her world title against Michaela. And I think this has been long overdue given the success she's had recently with becoming a two-weight world champion, you know, back-to-back defenses. I mean, she's a huge favourite here in Liverpool, so it's only fair that she gets to defend her world title in front of a beloved crowd.
I agree. You know, to me, the matchup is really compelling. I think for a long time, I thought that maybe Michaela was trying to build back to do the rematch against Alicia Baumgardner, but she ended up changing weight divisions. I think she's more comfortable in this weight division. I've heard Michaela talk about it. I was talking to her team about it. She seems more comfortable. The weight cut wasn't as bad for her, obviously, because she's not cutting as much. So it's a compelling matchup, but I think for the side of Natasha Jonas, I think it's great that she's headlining in her own city of Liverpool. I think she's had an amazing last couple years. I think a lot of people thought that she was done, that she was past her prime. Then she picks up 3 belts in 1 year. She becomes British Boxer of the Year. Now she picked up the IBF championship in a different weight division, and she's defending it in an international fight against one of Top Rank's top stars in Michaela. It's on Sky, it's on ESPN. I think Natasha deserves it. You know, I think Michaela deserves it also, and I think it's a really great show.
Yeah, it's a show that we're really looking forward to. You've got Aaron McKenna against Linus Adofia, Jack Cullen versus Zach Shelley for the British title. Is so much to look forward to, but we're hoping that this is going to be a big year for Sky Sports and boxing. We're hoping that they're going to kick on from 2023. So I'm just going to sort of dive right into the deep end with you. What are the 3 fights you want to see Sky Sports and boxer put on this year?
Well, Buatsi Aziz is already happening, so I'm happy about that. I want to see Chris Eubank Jr. back. I don't know necessarily what fight I want to see him in. Obviously, because Chris fights on Sky and Boxer's done a lot of his co-promotions with Wasserman, so I'd love to see Eubank back. Billum Smith, Riakporhe is a really fascinating matchup. I was hoping that maybe Riakporhe could go and get one of the other belts, then maybe unify in the rematch against against CBS. But if they just do their rematch for the belt, regardless, I think it's going to be electric. So I'd be happy to see that. Martin McCauley just got ranked #1 by the WBA. I think he's a really underrated heavyweight prospect. So I'm excited to maybe see him step in and maybe compete for a belt if they do kind of break up and get vacated after the undisputed. That would be interesting. Man, I mean, there's a lot. Adam Azim, I would love to see maybe compete for a world title by the end of the year. So that's kind of the interesting thing, is that there's a lot of building stars of Boxer. Like, it's a long-term plan, and now we're seeing a lot of the younger stars step into more prominent roles holding belts. When you look at people like Vidal Riley,
It looks like a sexy close-up. What the hell is going on?
Can't do an interview without Johnny Nelson interrupting. It's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. No, okay. You're just going to interrupt the interview, but now you're not going to come
I'm
on.
sorry.
Even better.
I saw him on social. I thought he looks like a porn star, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, "Bow cheeky, wow."
You're like the third person to say that.
Sorry.
Johnny, I know you're going to go do an interview with Boxing ID, but quickly, I just asked him the 3 fights Sky Sports and Boxer have to put on this year. Which ones do you want to see?
This year? Oh my God. Well, depends on the heavyweight situation. See how much we can get in the mix in that. Have I said too much?
No, which fights, 3 fights, do you want to see Sky Sports and Boxer put on this year?
Yes, I know. I'm just saying. Have I said too much?
No.
Have I said something you don't know? Ooh. See ya.
Johnny Nelson, pleasure as always. Okay.
One more fight.
Go for it. Go.
And this is an out-of-the-box fight, but I think it'd be one of the biggest British title fights in history. I don't think, to be fair, I think it's a long shot from happening. Tommy Fury versus Vidal Riley.
It's a good fight. It's a fight I would like to see as well.
Listen, Tommy Fury, right? He says he's out of the influencer space. Hasn't quite happened yet. Vidal, I think, is game for it. I think they both carry huge social followings, which we're seeing is kind of maybe where the sport is semi-headed in certain directions. Boxers are caring more about their brand, which I love to see on social media. So, listen, man. Biggest British cruiserweight title fight, although Isaac Chamberlain holds the belt right now. Like, the cruiserweight division to me is the most interesting, especially with how much boxers involved in it. So we'll kind of see how that shakes out. But that's maybe my moonshot fight, but I would love to see Isaac Chamberlain versus Vidal first, and that kind of just shows the different chess pieces that are getting shuffled around. It's going to be an exciting year for us.
100%. It's a year that everybody's looking forward to, and there's a lot of excitement with what's going on in Saudi Arabia with Turki Al Sheikh's influence on boxing, with all the mega fights that he's been putting on, with all the mega cards that we've got to look forward to. I mean, yeah, it's good that we get to see fights like that and shows like that taking place, but how important is it that Sky Sports and Boxer really sort of stamp their authority on 2024? Because, you know, it is competition and competition is healthy. So again, how important is it that Sky Sports and Boxer really sort of move on to that next level and deliver big and exciting shows in 2024?
It's critical. It is critical. When you still look at the landscape of boxing, broadcasters and promoter relationships is massively important. Now, Turki Al Sheikh, Saudi Arabia have kind of thrown an interesting wrinkle in the mix by just being such a financial provider that it kind of changes how boxing has been structured, right? You're seeing now promoters not be forced to work together, but almost it's a byproduct of the amount of money that's now being funneled into the market. So it's kind of changed and shifted the parameters of it all. But as great as what Turkey's doing, as big as what Saudi Arabia's doing, you still do have the massive players like ESPN, like Sky Sports, now NBC pushing Boxer as well. You possibly have Amazon. There's rumors of Netflix getting involved. Those are all billion-dollar companies. So they still do have to produce, and they still can produce. So perhaps maybe what Turkey is doing now is giving boxing the kick in the rear end that it needed to kind of get things going. So I'm excited to see the developments that are happening, but don't get it twisted. We still do need the traditional broadcasters that still do control the share of market in terms of content distribution. They still do need to perform. So I've always been a proponent of that the competition is very important. I have a business background, studied business, master's degree, etc. Competition is the best thing for a market because what it does is it forces providers of content to put forth something better because they have to compete now, right? We saw what the addition of DAZN did and how that just increased the level of competition for the broadcasters. I think that now, both on the broadcaster and promoter level, Saudi Arabia has really injected something into the market, and I hope that that's the rising tide that raises all the ships.
Well, we do hope that Sky Sports and Boxer are going to push on, at least I'm pretty sure they're going to deliver amazing shows. As you said, we've got Bawatsi and Aziz to look forward to, Adam Azim defending his European title as well. Hopefully it's a big push for the likes of Fraser Clark this year as well. Richard Riakpo, I'm pretty sure, will get a world title shot, and a fight with Chris Williams-Smith would be something we'd love to see again. I'm not going to keep you too long because I know you've got to go up there, do your thing in a bit. Anthony Joshua, his next fight was announced last week against Francis Ngannou. We all saw what Francis Ngannou was about when he took on Tyson Fury. AJ had 3 fights in 2023, looked good in his last fight against Otto Wallin. As a fan of boxing, and I'm pretty sure you're a fan of Anthony Joshua, is it the right fight, or would you have liked to have seen him maybe go in with a Zhilei Zhang or a Jose Parker, or even a fight with Deontay Wilder, which is a fight people still want to see given the fact that Wilder lost to Parker in Saudi Arabia?
So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. In the same way that Turki Al Sheikh and Saudi Arabia have kind of put a wrinkle in the whole thing, so is Francis Ngannou, because you have this guy that came in. It was kind of a freak show fight between Francis and Tyson. Obviously, Tyson was the big favorite, and Francis kind of surprised everyone. And then the WBC ranked him, and then they were like, all right, well, now we have this massive star that's been injected into the heavyweight rankings that kind of shuffled everything around. So I totally understand why AJ's taken that fight. I think it makes sense. Personally, I still want to see AJ win in America. You have to understand, I'm an American that saw AJ and the massive stardom that he is and was come to America, and for a variety of reasons, he lost, right? He still hasn't won in America. Personally, I want to see AJ fight Deontay Wilder in America. That's a massive heavyweight fight for America. I think that's an opportunity for AJ to take his stardom across the pond and win. So am I upset at Francis and AJ? Absolutely not. I'm definitely going to watch. I love to see that fight. I'm a big Francis fan and a big AJ fan. I think it's a great fight. But I still do want to see AJ win in America. I want to see a British heavyweight go win in America. Obviously, we saw Tyson win, and we saw what that did for the market, having that big of a star come over to the States and win. I want to see if AJ can do the same thing. I still think that Deontay Wilder fight is still a fascinating fight. Don't get me wrong, Deontay lost, but so AJ's lost too. It's not like you have to be undefeated anymore to be a star. I wish we kind of got away from that narrative. So happy that AJ Francis is happening. I still do want to see AJ Wilder.
Big Mo, I'm going to give you the microphone. You know what you got to do.
Give me this microphone. It's the first fight of 2024, ladies and gentlemen, and it's an international one for Boxer, for Sky Sports, for Top Rank. We have Michaela and we have Natasha Jonas, one of the biggest female stars in America, one of the biggest female stars in the United Kingdom. It's a narrative, it's a tale as old as time, United States versus United Kingdom, and you can watch it live this Saturday, Sky Sports, ESPN, Boxer, Top Rank. I'm going to be in the mix. I'm going to be in the middle. This mustache is going to be in the middle, and we're going to have a great show. So I will see you guys live on Saturday.